Hey guys, welcome to Mob of the Week, episode 13. Obviously you know who I am, Coach Mike at MROC Training, but I've got a guest here today. I got Patrick from the makers of RolFlex, and I want to introduce Patrick and let him talk a little bit about this crazy blue device that you've seen me use in the past. You've seen me use at races. If you train out here at the gym, you've seen it hanging around on the walls, being used down on the floor. Patrick, what is this and how do we use it and why?
Sure. So it's a self-myofascial release tool. The most common use of that, or the most common product for that would be a foam roller.
Sure.
With the foam roller, you basically have body weight and gravity, and those are the only tools available to you. Take it a step further, you're on the ground, you're contorting yourself, you're bridging, you're actually probably messing up your forearms.
Yeah, people have seen me in those positions. Sometimes they're awkward, yeah.
Exactly. So the beauty of the RolFlex is instead of the body weight and gravity, you're going to use leverage to deliver compression. So there's always a means of hitting it with leverage. And the beauty of this is you're actually going to be able to get 95% of your body.
Awesome.
So generally I always say, think of this middle piece as a physical therapist, massage therapist thumb. This is what you're going to aim with. And with that in mind, you are in complete control of how you want to use it, deliver the device. The most common approach is basically to just identify a tender spot, and then you're kind of, in this case, you're rolling your arm through, and then you find that hot spot, you're going to find a way of flexing the muscle. Mm-hmm. So it's kind of a trigger point technique. Basically, what the analogy is, where let's say going with the physical therapist thumb. Mm-hmm. So they would dig into that sore spot, say tennis elbow here, but then they would have you move your arm through that range of motion. Well, the beauty of this is that you can actually do that on your own.
Right.
You find your tender spot, you hit it, you pin it for that matter, and then you're just moving your muscle through. So in a sense, you're actually massaging from the inside out.
Yeah, and I know some of our viewers are probably familiar with active release technique.
Absolutely.
And we're going to be meeting with some really great ART practitioners later in this series.
Wonderful.
And that's very common to a technique that we've been demonstrating called tack and floss.
Yes.
If you follow Kelly Starrett in the mobility series.
Yeah.
So you find those pressure points, those adhesions, you lock them down, and then you take your joints through range of motion. We do a lot of climbing in what we do, a lot of grip intensive stuff, barbells, kettlebells, monkey bars, ropes. So we get people that their elbows flare up. So just exactly what you were doing, grinding out that is a really great way to help relieve some pain in the elbow. Now, you can take this apart and use it in other ways as well, correct?
Absolutely. Again, to get the 95% of the body. So for example, one of I always say only 100% of people have tension up in their necks. And a quick way of getting there with this, to get in your traps, this is your anchor, so you're locking down here, and you're using leverage, you're pulling against here. And the alternative would maybe be a lacrosse ball up against the wall. With that, once you find that magic spot, you gotta freeze. If you move a fraction of an inch, you're out of luck.
That ball goes away.
Yeah. So with this guy, instead, you search out your spot, but then when you find it, you get to go over it again and again. Take it a step further with the active release technique. You can either move your neck through, or in this case, it gets a little dramatic, but do a full shoulder shrug, and you're actually opening up the muscles. So again, that physical therapist equivalent, think of the physical therapist thumb, it's digging into your shoulder, and you're opening up spots that you may not have really ever felt before. Again, if it's a lacrosse ball, you gotta find that spot and just stay still. Whereas this, we encourage you to actually go through more mobile ranges of motion to really get in and work out that muscles and smooth things out. Yeah,
no, I love it. And we've got a few of these here at the gym. We keep them up on our mobility wall. We have a full reference chart. Now, when you buy one of these things, it actually comes with a whole chart that teaches you how to use it, so you don't have to call up Patrick and be like, hey, how do I do this? They come up with these awesome charts, which we always have on display at the gym. And then all the different tools, the extra strapping with the little thumb hooks, and a couple different things that you can use to get full benefit from it. We won't get into all of them today, but I did want to take the last few minutes of this video to show you how I use this thing every day. Now, Patrick recently came out with a brand new version of this.
Yes.
What do you call this one?
We call it the Pro.
The Pro.
So it has dual rollers here. And I kind of consider it more like it kind of serves as a Mars rover. So it's moving through here. So the beauty of this is you can get around, well, it's twofold. It gives much more stability, but then you can actually get around, say, the elbow and the knee, and you're in constant contact. So you can just work right through.
Yeah, you don't have to stop and then readjust and hit the other side. And I love it because I use this thing for my legs every day. A few of you know I'm pretty competitive in the Spartan Stadium circuit right now, so lots of stairs, a lot of tension in the calves. And we get a lot of people new to running or changing running form, and they get shin splints and a lot of tension up in the front of their leg. I literally every day start in the front on the outside lateral side of the tibia, and I'm start rolling down, and whether it's a pressure wave or a tack and floss technique or a side-to-side oscillation over top of those muscle fibers, just pumping up and down and around, eventually starting in the front, working my way to the back. And when you get those really gnarly trigger points, you can really, you're in control of the tension here, how much you want to squeeze down, and then start flexing. We've been talking a lot about contract and release techniques. You can contract the calf, and it's rock hard, hold it for 3 to 5 seconds, relax and fan it out. So a lot of different techniques you can use, the pressure wave, the tack and floss, contract and release. And what's nice about this double roller system is now you can continue up over the knee, and you can hit behind the knee and get in here really nice as well. So that's just one of the ways I use it every day. So Patrick, thank you for coming and telling people a little bit about it. I think it's a great product. I'm glad we have it here. Local company here in San Diego. So what's nothing wrong with supporting that. So thanks for stopping by, guys. This has been episode 13 of Mob of the Week. Next week, let's continue working on the calves. I'll show you how to get a barbell in there. Just in case you ordered one of these that hasn't showed up in the mail yet, we can use a barbell temporarily, but eventually you want to get your hands on one of these bad boys.
If I could add, so the user guides are outstanding. If you want to get to our website, RolFlex.com.
Yes.
If you go on kind of your laptop, a regular computer, you'll see a front and back image of a body. You click on a body part and that launches a how-to video.
Oh, shoot.
On top of that, there's kind of the typical see more videos. And that at this point, I think we're at 70 videos, and that's increasing. So it's just a wealth
You're making
of
me look bad because we're on episode 13. These guys have 70 different ways to use one of these things.
You've got all the techniques. I mean, I'm impressed with how quickly you get through you ran through all the techniques. So this is a wonderful example.
Awesome. Thanks so much, guys. Tune in again next week for our next episode.